All right, welcome everyone to the Gym Success Podcast. I'm Bonnie, and I'm really looking forward to getting into today's topic with you.
And I'm George. Great to be here. A big welcome to all our listeners, whether you're
Yeah.
gym owners, operators, managers, salespeople, gym entrepreneurs, or personal trainers. Yeah, this one's definitely for you.
It really is. Today we're digging into a really insightful white paper by Jim Thomas. He's, a well-respected expert in the gym business world.
A titan, really. And he's tackling something most of us, let's be honest, kind of dread. Gym cancellations.
Exactly. So our mission today is simple. Cut through the noise, pull out the most crucial bits of knowledge, maybe uncover some surprising facts from Jim Thomas's work. The goal is to give you genuinely actionable insights, things you can, actually put to use in your business, maybe even starting today.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Because, well, for so long, the standard thinking is just cancellation equals loss.
Yeah.
Full stop. End of story. But Jim Thomas, he really challenges that.
Mm-hmm.
He suggests there's this significant hidden value there,
Hmm.
a real opportunity that, frankly, most gyms are probably just missing.
Interesting. Seeing something different in what looks like just a goodbye.
Precisely.
So let's break this down. Think about when a member says they want to cancel. What usually happens? Jim Thomas points out that for a lot of gyms, it's super transactional, right? Get the request, fill out a form, maybe click a button in the software, and poof, they're gone.
Yeah, remove number from system. Check.
Does that sound familiar to you listening? Is that kind of how it goes?
It's almost like muscle memory, isn't it? That autopilot response.
Yeah.
But here's where Jim Thomas drops his core argument, and honestly, it's a bit of a game changer. He says a cancellation isn't the end. It's not the final page.
Okay.
He actually calls it a critical touch point in that member's journey. It's a moment that's actually full of potential. It's maybe your last really good chance to understand what went wrong and, possibly save that relationship.
Okay, so it's not just an ending, it's a moment. And this is where it gets really interesting, I think. What Jim Thomas found, something a lot of owners miss, is that the member usually isn't saying, I hate this place, goodbye forever.
Right. Rarely that dramatic.
No, what they're often trying to communicate is, something more subtle, like, something isn't quite working for me right now, or maybe I'm just not seeing the value I thought I would, or I don't know how to get the results.
Or sometimes it's just life, right? Life threw me a curveball and the gym just has to wait.
Exactly. And just shifting your view on that from seeing it as a definite loss to seeing it as like an open-ended problem you might be able to solve, that's huge. It changes everything.
It really does. And Jim Thomas has this key principle in the paper. He says, treat cancellations like a high-service, low-pressure sales opportunity.
Right. Sales opportunity might make some people nervous, though. Like you're trying to talk them out of it aggressively.
Yeah, and he's very clear about that. This isn't about arm twisting or high-pressure tactics. Not at all. It's about genuinely listening. It's about empathy. And then it's about offering real solutions that actually address the specific thing they just told you is the problem. It's service first, absolutely.
So let's connect this back. For you listening, why should you really care about making this mindset shift?
Well,
Because it takes what feels like a guaranteed loss, right, and turns it into this chance. A chance to find maybe hidden problems in your gym's services or delivery. It's a chance to show you actually care about them as people, not just, their monthly direct debit.
yeah.
And ultimately, it's a chance to resell the value of what you offer, but in a way that fits their current life, not just the life they had when they first signed up.
That's a great way to put it. It's meeting them where they are now.
Okay, so we've reframed cancellations. It's not an end, it's an opportunity. Now, Jim Thomas gives us our first real tool here, something many gyms have, but maybe aren't using right.
Oh, the exit survey.
The humble exit survey. But he asks, are your surveys actually effective? Or are they just, a formality, something you do just to say you did it?
That's such a critical question. Jim Thomas really pushes us to ask better questions.
Yeah.
He basically says, forget the simple, why are you canceling drop-down menu.
Right, which often feels pointless anyway.
Totally. Instead, you got to dig deeper. Ask things like, what goal brought you here in the first place? Do you feel like you made any progress towards it? What's the biggest challenge you're facing right now that makes coming here tough? And then the crucial ones. If we could adjust your plan, or maybe the price, would that help you stay? Or even just, would putting things on hold for a bit, like a temporary freeze, be helpful right now?
Ah, okay.
Questions like these, he argues, they don't just collect reasons or complaints, they actually uncover real needs you might be able to meet. It opens the door for solutions.
It's about starting a conversation, really, not just collecting data points. I remember trying to cancel something once, and the survey was literally just a drop-down. Felt totally impersonal.
Exactly. And Jim Thomas emphasizes it's not just what you ask, but also how. He talks about using multiple formats for these surveys.
Okay, so not just one way.
Right. Maybe start with an automated online survey when they first signal they want to cancel, but then, if possible, escalate. Maybe an in-person chat with a trained manager, or even a follow-up call or a text message, just something to add that personal touch. He makes a really strong point. The more personal that interaction is, the better the chance you actually keep them.
That makes total sense. People respond to people.
Absolutely. And the final piece, according to Thomas, is you have to track and act. Collecting this info is pointless if it just sits there.
Right, you need to use it.
You absolutely must. Categorize the reasons people are leaving. Look for trends in that data over time. Use those trends to actually adjust your membership options, your pricing, maybe even your class schedule. And then crucially, build strategies to get ahead of common problems before they lead to cancellations. So the big question for you listening is, are you really using your cancellation data? Or is it just like gathering digital dust somewhere?
That data could be a gold mine, you're saying.
If you actually dig into it, yes.
Okay, so we understand why people leave better now, thanks to good surveys. How do we actually stop them from walking out the door?
Well, Jim Thomas suggests focusing on the most common reasons, which surprisingly often are manageable things.
Like what?
Things like time pressures, maybe temporary money worries, or just, life changes. Stuff that isn't necessarily permanent.
Okay.
So he challenges Jims. Are you only giving members two choices? Stay fully, pay full price, or leave completely? Is it just black and white?
Because often it's not black and white for the member, is it?
Exactly. And this is where Thomas introduces these downgrade options. It's a fascinating idea. Instead of that all or nothing choice, offer alternatives. Maybe off-peak only access, cheaper, fits some schedules, or perhaps fewer visits per week.
Right.
Or even like an essentials plan, just gym access, no classes, no fancy extras.
Okay.
The point is, give them something they can hold on to. Some way to stay connected to the gym instead of losing them entirely. It's about flexibility, meeting them halfway.
I like that. And building on that flexibility idea, he also talks about freezes and holds.
Yes, super important. These are perfect for members dealing with temporary situations. Think pregnancy, medical leave, maybe they're traveling for a few months, or hit a short-term financial bump.
Makes sense. Life happens.
It does. And Jim Thomas lays out some good practices for these holds. Keep them typically between, say, 30 and 90 days. Make reactivating really easy, no hoops to jump through.
Crucial.
You could have an optional low-cost hold fee. Some gyms do that. But importantly, have some kind of check-in process. Don't just let them vanish for 3 months. Keep that connection alive.
Yeah, that check-in seems key. Otherwise, they might just drift away anyway. How seamless does that freeze process need to be, practically speaking?
Oh, it has to be incredibly easy. Jim Thomas really stresses this. If putting your membership on hold is more complicated than just canceling outright, you've totally missed the point.
Right, it defeats the purpose.
Completely. And this all ties into that bigger picture, really adapting to how your members' lives change over time. Thomas even suggests virtual membership shifts.
Okay, what does that involve?
Well, if someone's facing schedule clashes, or maybe they're even moving away, you could offer things like on-demand workout libraries they can access from home.
Like an app or a website.
Exactly. Or
Yeah.
Zoom-based coaching sessions, maybe remote nutrition or mindset coaching. The idea is to keep the relationship going. Let them still benefit from your gym's expertise,
Yeah.
even if they can't physically be there right now.
So it's about keeping them in your ecosystem, even if their participation changes form.
Precisely. It's long-term relationship thinking, not just transactional.
And what about those members who are maybe on the fence because they feel stuck, like they aren't seeing results?
Yeah, sometimes people just need a little nudge.
Yeah.
Right? Jim Thomas suggests ways to reignite results with trial extensions.
Okay.
So if someone's unsure, feeling like they haven't made progress, you could offer maybe a 30-day extension on their current membership at a discount. Give them a little more time. Or offer a complimentary personal training session to refocus them.
Right.
Or even just a new goal-setting consultation. Sit down with them again.
It feels like a small investment for the gym, potentially.
It often is. but it can make a massive difference in rekindling their motivation and reminding them why they joined in the first place. It shows you're invested in their success.
Okay, these are all great strategies. Downgrades, freezes, virtual options, reigniting results. But Jim Thomas makes a really critical point here, doesn't he?
He does. All these systems, all these options, they're basically useless if your team isn't trained and confident in using them.
Right, the people on the front lines. So the question for you listening is your team actually prepared for these kinds of conversations, these retention-focused conversations? Or do they just kind of freeze up and default to, okay, here's the cancellation form?
Yeah, this is where the rubber really meets the road. Thomas lays out some key principles for staff for handling these moments.
Like what? What should they be aiming for?
Okay, first and foremost, empathy. Train staff to start with something like, I understand you need to cancel, and I'm sorry to hear that. To help us improve, would you mind if I ask a quick question about your experience?
Sets a different tone immediately.
Completely. Second, the focus has to stay on the members' goals, not the gym's revenue targets. That's critical.
Okay.
Third, always present options, not ultimatums. It's, here are a few ways we might be able to help, not, you have to choose this or leave.
Makes sense. And the last one?
Always ask permission before you even suggest an alternative. Would you be open to hearing about a couple of options that might work better for your current situation?
Respect.
Exactly. These principles keep the conversation supportive, respectful, and centered on the member, not pushy or salesy.
How do you actually get staff comfortable with this, though? Because it can feel awkward, right? Trying to sell someone who's already decided to leave.
Yeah, that's a real hurdle. And that's why Jim Thomas hammers home the importance of role-playing regularly.
Practice.
Lots of practice.
Yeah.
This isn't just theory you read in a manual. It's a skill you build. He suggests a clear 5-step process for staff to practice in these role plays.
Okay, what are the steps?
First, listen actively.
Yeah.
Really listen to understand the member's core issue. What's really going on?
Step 1.
Second, ask open-ended questions. Go beyond the surface. Gather more detail. Tell me more about that.
Got it.
Third, identify the underlying problem. Often the first reason they give isn't the real reason. Dig a bit.
Okay.
Fourth, present a tailored solution based on what you've learned. Suggest one relevant option, a freeze, a downgrade, maybe that PT session. Don't overwhelm them.
Makes sense. And fifth?
Document the conversation. What did they say? What did you offer? What was the outcome? This helps everyone learn and track what works.
Okay, listen. Ask, identify, present, document.
You got it. And the big takeaway here is just a confident, empathetic, well-trained team is your absolute best defense against unnecessary churn. They are the ones who can turn that cancellation request into a saved membership.
Just by having the right kind of conversation.
Exactly.
Okay, but what if, despite all this, the cancellation still happens, the member decides to leave anyway? Is that it? Game over.
Not according to Jim Thomas. He's quite firm on this. The relationship doesn't just end the moment they walk out the door. He believes that doors should always, always be left open. So, another key question for you listening. Do you have any kind of win-back system in place for people who've left?
Or do you just kind of let them go and forget about them?
Right. Because Thomas outlines some really effective yet simple components for a good win-back system.
Like what kind of things?
Well, think about sending a handwritten thank you note after they leave. Seriously, handwritten. In today's world, that stands out. It shows you value their past business.
Nice touch. What else?
Then, maybe wait 3 months, maybe 6 months, and send them a targeted welcome back offer. A little incentive to return.
Okay.
And, importantly, ask their permission to keep them on your email newsletter. That way, they still see what's happening. They still feel loosely connected to the community.
Keeps you top of mind, maybe.
Exactly. And finally, he suggests reaching out on specific milestone dates, like their birthday, maybe the anniversary of when they first joined, or even just a simple Happy New Year message.
Low-pressure touch points.
Very low pressure. Just gentle reminders that you're still there and you valued them as a member.
Because his core belief here is that many people do eventually come back, right? When their situation changes again.
That's his strong belief, yes.
Correct.
When life stabilizes, when those temporary issues resolve themselves, they often start thinking about the gym again.
So Jim Thomas's message is basically make sure you've left the door wide open. And maybe just as importantly, keep the light on so they can find their way back.
Beautifully put. Don't assume they're gone forever. A little effort at the right moment can bring them right back.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. The big takeaway from Jim Thomas's white paper seems crystal clear. Cancellations. They are definitely not the end. not just a loss.
No, they're actually these powerful, often really underutilized opportunities. Opportunities for engagement, for learning, and for retention.
So what does this really mean for you, our listener? You, the gym owner, the operator, the manager, the trainer?
Well, it means that if you put the right systems in place, like those bidder surveys and flexible options, if you make that fundamental shift in mindset we talked about.
From transaction to conversation.
Exactly. And if you invest in training your staff to handle these moments with empathy and skill.
Then what happens?
Then those cancellation requests, they stop being something you dread. They actually become these incredibly valuable moments. Moments to find out what your members really need. Moments to get honest feedback so you can improve what you offer. And ultimately, moments to rescue valuable relationships that you might otherwise just lose forever.
It's about seeing potential where maybe yesterday you only saw a problem.
That's it, exactly.
So here's the final thought to leave you with. When you start treating cancellations as conversations, not just sterile transactions, you make that shift. You move from just reacting to loss to proactively retaining members. Let every single cancellation request become an opportunity for your gym to demonstrate what it truly values. People, their goals, their individual journeys, and not just their payments. What if that leaving conversation actually became the very thing that eventually made members want to come back?
Something to think about.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the Gym Success Podcast today. We really hope these insights from Jim Thomas's work give you some fresh ideas for tackling member retention.
Yeah, the real value here, as Jim Thomas shows, is how practical this stuff is. Turning what feels like a negative into a genuine strategic positive for your gym's future.
Absolutely. And if you are thinking, okay, I want to actually implement a full system like this, or maybe you want to really level up your staff's conversation skills, or just get an expert eye on your whole membership structure.
Jim Thomas is the person to talk to.
He is. You can contact him directly. Give him a call at 214-629-7223.
That number again is 214-629-7223.
Or you can shoot him an email at jthomas@fmconsulting.net.
We really do encourage you. Take these ideas, apply them in your gym, see what kind of difference they can make.
You might be surprised.
Until next time, keep pushing for success.